Hi, how are you doing? Finally decided on what I'm going to cover it in. The brown paper. Mainly because it's just easy to get around these the curves. If you use iron-on stuff, it'll wrinkle as you go around curves and what have you. So anyhow, the brown paper, easy to apply. It's much the same as when you wallpaper a room. You mix up a bit of the glue, which is the white glue, with a bit of water, slop it onto the wood, onto the paper, and then just smooth it on. Once it's dry, the good old car lacquer. Around 3 coats ought to do it, and then you would have the last coat, which would be whatever it'll be. I'm going to do mine probably in the RAF kind of colours. Yeah. Also, right, I've started on the back end of the plane, on the internals for the fin, which is the actuator for the elevator. So I'll just show you that now, I think, and how to make all of the different bits in it. Okay. Right. Just move some stuff out the way. I don't think we need the paraffin heater at the moment. Although we do need the cheap lager. Right. Start off with what you can see there. I'll just check. Right. So what we have is that snake for the elevator, which goes onto this actuator bar, which I'll show you how to make that. That's the one for the rudder. Just put a little brace bar in there, a little bracing bit, because it has to aim straight upwards. Well, when I say straight up, it has to aim towards the actuator rod, which will go about there. Also notice how I bent that. Right there. You can't really see that, but if that's horizontal, then they're looking up the way. That's just because as that goes in and out, this end, that goes in and out like that, you want ideally more up than you would have down, like that. Can't really see this, right there. So that would be down, that would be up. Okay, so that's why it has a bit of a downward sweep to it. So when that's level, they're looking up. Anyway, you'll get the hang of it. So you've got your brace bar in, and you've got your snake epoxy glued in there, because it has to be strong in there. The last thing you want is that to snap away. Right, to make this the metal piece that will go onto the elevators, a handy little tool here. You take 2 bits of metal and you bend them so that one is longer than the other. Now because it's chrome plated, you need to just scratch off that chrome all the way around. Like that. And we mount it into this little contraption. That, and you just bring them in together so that they're resting against each other, like this. As you can see that or not. Let's see what you can see there. Probably not much. Right, now all you do is you solder those together. You take your blowtorch, a little bit of solder, spark it up, just heat it up a bit. You could also wrap a bit of internal out, a bit of wire around it, and also solder that on for extra strength. Right, that should be okay there. I don't scorch my fingers or anything. And there you have it. Then you would just put on a little kind of a loop on the end of that, a little plastic loop, where the end of the snake would go in. find that. It's the trouble with a messy bench, you can't find anything. But anyway, it's one of those, a little flat plate with a pin in it, and that would go into there like that, and then you would curve those ends round into the angle you want. Then, so once that's in, leave it loose, because the stabiliser has to slot through there. And once that's in, that would be glued onto the back of the stabiliser into place, so all of that will then start to work properly. But once you get that in, then that skin will go on there, as with the other side, then a piece of skinning up there, and that'll be it. And then we can add in the stabiliser and start to make the rudder. And also, once that's in there, of course, more of the brown paper, and that'll be that done, and that'll be the fuselage essentially finished. But that's the easiest way to make that. Okay, done.